What's going on, YouTube? How are all of you guys doing on this very Merry Christmas? Merry Christmas to all of you. I got a little special video for you guys today. Just a little bit of a special video. If you haven't read the title, which doesn't make sense. Most people read titles of videos. I got a very special beer here. I got a super special beer. The first of many super special beers, to be honest. And I gotta tell you my honest opinion on this bad boy right here. This isn't just any old beer. This is my beer. When I say my beer, I mean mine from the ground all the way up. From idea to can, it's my baby. Beer, 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 beer. Hello everybody, welcome back to me, Mate Brewski, for a very special Rooski Brewski review. Because, like I just said, this is my beer. This is the beer that I brewed at the Niagara College teaching brewery for my target beer project. This is Honest Brown. It's a brown ale. And it's 4.3% alcohol by volume. And if I'm not mistaken, it was 25 IBUs or so. We're gonna double check. I'm gonna bring up the recipe here. I'm gonna talk to you about it, and we'll get you my honest opinions on this bad boy. So without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open. Let's see what we got. Wellington pint glass. I should probably switch it out, or is it dirty? I think the other one's dirty. The Beer 101 pint glass is dirty, and I'm really not wanting to wash it, so we got this. Let's pour up this Honest Brown. Let's see what we got. Come on, get a bit of heat. There we go. There we go. Most of the can in there. Very dark brown. Nice light brown head on top, but quite a dark brown. A lot darker than I was hoping for, but hey, it works fine for me. The head looks great. It is carbonated, unlike the first homebrew that I did, because it is based off my initial homebrew. Funny enough, homebrew number 1. Fantastic looking beer though. Really dark. Yeah, brown ale, sure. it's pretty dark. It almost looks like a stout. Almost, but when you get the light on it just in the right areas, it is brown. On the nose, a little hard to get it on the nose with the head that high, but what I've been getting is, light notes of, milk and semi-sweet chocolate, moving into a bit of a nice solid nuttiness, almost like a hazelnut nuttiness, earthy hop aromas, and just like a touch of toffee on here, just like a little smidgen of toffee, maybe some light molasses. So yeah, it definitely has some stouty qualities, but the nuttiness of it seems to shine through just a bit more, making it fall into that brown ale category a little bit. Cheers. As for flavor though, this is one aspect that I wasn't that I thought it was going to be a little bit more intense on. It is a very clean beer, for one thing, and you got some nice malty characteristics of it. You got some nuttiness, again, a little bit of chocolate, not too much, more of a semi-sweet chocolate, and then your nuttiness and whatnot. And then you have your earthy hop aromas or hop flavors in there, but it finishes really clean and a little too bitter. Not sharply bitter by any means, but just a little bit of earthy, almost grassy bitterness on the end. Just lingers a bit too much and seems a little too high compared to the maltiness of it. Obviously, if I warm it up more, when the beer is warmer, those malt notes shine through a little bit better. But cheers, everybody. Let's keep on drinking. There is also almost like a touch of roastiness going on in the back, which I really wasn't hoping for. I didn't want roast in this, but it just so happened to be just a touch of roast, or I think that's maybe the nuttiness and the earthiness of the hops sort of playing together a little bit. As for mouthfeel, it's very light on the palate. It's a little thin, in my opinion. A little bit thinner than I thought it was going to be. Maybe that's just because it's cold at the moment, but it's not heavy. It looks heavy, but it's very light, very clean, little crisp, not overly carbonated, but I think just the right amount of carbonation in here. Cleaned up very well, but I think it's the hops that I used, because I couldn't use my original batch of hops. I had to make some changes on one of them even on the fly, which I wasn't too proud of, and I think that just made it a little bit hoppier than I wanted to, and sort of cut out some of those malt forward flavors, which a little bit of a bummer on. I think I said what the ABV was, 4.3 and 25 IBUs, sorry, 22 IBUs, my apologies, 22.56 IBUs. And SRM was supposed to be about 22.06. I would say this is a lot darker than 22.06 SRM. I'm just being honest. Also, fun stuff is, what else is also fun stuff? I don't even know. But yeah, when it came to the hops that I used, originally I wanted to use EKG and Fuggles, because I was going for more of like a British brown ale style of beer. When I, remembered or learned that I had to use the Niagara college grown hops, I saw that both EKG and Fuggles were not available. So I'm like, well, shit. I had to go through a book, some websites, and try to figure out what's a good substitution that's available for me to use. The best substitutions that I found were Glacier and Newport. That was the best that I could find. For the hops, we have Glacier, originally I had Glacier going in at the 60-minute and 10-minute times, and then Newport going in at 40 minutes and 5-minute times. But what ended up happening on brew day is that when I went to go to the fridge to start weighing out the hops, I noticed that Glacier, we had it only in whole leaf form. And I was needing 170 grams of Glacier in the first edition. And I'm thinking 170 grams of whole leaf hops, that is not gonna fly. So I had to change it. And I had to do this on the fly. I didn't have much time until the first hop edition. So I switched it to Tenanger. Didn't really know exactly if that was going to be a great idea. I don't think it was a great idea. But I ended up using 161 grams of Tenanger as a pellet instead of the Glacier in the beginning. I did use Glacier in the third hop edition at the 10-minute. It is still leaf whole hops, and that was only about 68 grams or so. So it's a little less than a little less than that first 170, and I was okay with that. But pretty excited. We did two 65 liter pre-boil volumes, and then I think we ended up topping it up to again about 65 liters each in the post boil and in the kettle volume, ready for transfer over to the fermenter, which helped because that dropped the gravity just about 10 points. I wanted 5-10 points, for each pilot system, right into my range of original gravity of 1049, which I was pretty happy about. But yeah, for the grain bill, I used Maris Otter Pale, and then I used about 8%, or sorry, just under 9% of Crystal 60, 3.7% of Crystal 120, 5.6% of flaked oats, and then 4.1% of chocolate. So I think that's where the Crystal 120 and the chocolate is really where it got its darker look to it, I want to say. I was kind of just messing around with my original recipe and trying to get something a little bit different, a little bit more refined. As for per notes of one of my teachers who actually tasted my home brew and just gave me some recommendations on how to change it up for the target brew. It did work out pretty well the whole brew day. No hiccups. It was highly stressful for me because I was very scared that I was going to fuck something up. Thankfully, I didn't. I had great help from other classmates as well, so no problems there. As for the yeast, I used Lallemand Brew Nottingham High Performance Ale yeast, and I was supposed to get down to about final gravity of 1009. That didn't happen. I think the final gravity got to be about 1016 after two weeks. So I didn't use a yeast nutrients or anything like that. I would think maybe that would have helped it, ferment down even more, or just longer time, or maybe another addition of some fresher yeast throughout the ferment. So like I said, it only came out to 4.3. When I made the recipe on Brewer's Friend, it's showing predicted ABV of 5.15, which would have been a lot nicer. But hey, time restraints were a really big issue for me in the late stages of brewing, of the fermentation of this beer. But not too bad, things to learn moving forward. It's still a solid beer, great malt profile to it, nice bit of hoppiness to it, nothing overly aggressive by any means. Like, it was a very clean finish, a little bit, maybe not overly clean finish, but a little bit of lingering bitterness to it. But it's more of an earthy bitterness. That's kind of exactly what I was going for. The yeast, the Nottingham High Performance, had a very clean, more neutral profile to it than anything, which I was kind of going for. I didn't want too much going on with the yeasty flavors, or any flavors added from the yeast for the beer itself, but I think it worked out fairly well. I'm fairly proud of this bad boy right here. Not gonna lie, pretty proud. Everybody that's had it so far, I told them to be completely honest with me and tell me if it's shit. It's definitely not shit. It's a very beautiful, lighter brown ale. Still, little bits of semi-sweet chocolate in here. Some like a good amount of nuttiness to it, and a nice earthy hop flavor to it. So it's well balanced. It's not overly heavy. It doesn't sit heavy in the stomach. Nice mouthfeel to it. Smooth. Just a little bit of crispness to it. Worked out like a dream. Ended up getting about 180, just over 180 tall boy cans out of this. 2 full kegs. Minus losses or whatnot. But damn, I'm fairly proud with this bad boy. Definitely gonna homebrew this again, but with my original hops of EKG and Fuggles. But overall, a solid brown ale. It's kind of funny though, because for a brown ale, it is quite dark. But compared to other brown ales, it's definitely on the lighter side. I don't think I've come across a sub 5% brown ale. It's well within the style for the ABV range, but haven't come across a light brown ale per se. And that's what it is. It's a light brown ale, so it works out quite well. Fairly delicious. Definitely gonna give you what you want out of it without being overly aggressive in any manner or overly heavy in mouthfeel or body. Partially filtered. It was just a 3 micron filter that we used just to clean out some of the yeastiness of it. But other than that, more or less, it wasn't heavily filtered because it did flock out fairly clean. Overall, very clear beer. I want to say, I don't, looking through just like small portions of it, not hazy, just fairly dark, to be honest. Yeah, great flavor to it. Very sessionable. It's like a session brown ale, a light brown ale. I don't know what kind of sub-style you could put a name to it of brown ales, but it is damn good. I'm I'm fairly proud of this. There are things, like I said, I wanted to improve, maybe a bit more of an intenser malt profile, or maybe per se even just a slightly less intense hoppier profile of it. But those are, small little tweaks here and there that will be worked out as I move forward. Probably won't be able to brew this again on a commercial level, but I'm definitely going to be doing some home brewing, tests with it and whatnot, because I think it's a great starting point to have for when one day when I do open up a brewery. I do want a brown ale on tap as a regular, a year-round beer. So I think this is a great start, and being that it is the first commercial brew that I've done, it gives me a lot of time to really tweak that recipe and make it the best it can be for when that one day I open up my brewery. I'm gonna have a solid offering for people to enjoy, and I'm proud as shit. I made a beer, guys. I made a beer, and I'm drinking it. And it's for sale soon. It's for sale. Niagara College, the way they do it, I don't know if they have a specific system of when they put beers on sale as far as the small batch stuff goes, or if they're just picked randomly off of the shelves. Excuse me, for sale. So as of recording, and probably as of uploading, because it's Christmas Day when I uploaded this beer is not on sale yet. But I will keep checking, and I implore you to keep checking Niagara College Teaching Brewery and Teaching Winery Instagram pages, links down below, and just keep up to see when they post that this beer is available. They usually do a post maybe I think once or twice every week, near the beginning and the end of the weeks, listing all the student small batches that are available at the Teaching Winery. Yes, everything's being sold out of the winery because COVID things. Also, Ontario is going into lockdown tomorrow, so I don't know how it's going to work. You may have to do pre-orders or something like that, or maybe they do curbside pickup. I have no idea what regime they're going to have in place, but I know for online orders, if you want small batch beer, it's sort of you trust them to pick your beers. I'm not sure how it works, if you maybe give little notes here and there of what kind of beers you like or would like to get, or if they just pick randomly out of what they have. So a little bit more of a gamble on the online store, but still a pretty cool system, because the beers coming out of there from us students, first, second, third, and fourth term, pretty top-notch stuff. We're taught by a bunch of great teachers, both in the brewery, out of the brewery, all around the whole course. We know our shit. We know we get things right. We always ask for help. That's I think the greatest thing about it, is that any question, doesn't matter if it's the simplest thing or the most outrageous thing, they're always answered. So when we're brewing beer, no matter how novice we are to how skilled we do become, every beer coming out of there is top notch. Great quality control. We all taste it. We all make sure it's all good to go. Great stuff coming out of the brewery, indeed. And they're all original. They're all original recipes. No beer from the small batch, system here, or what do you call it? Series is going to be the exact same. They're ever changing, and they are limited batches. I mean, I did two pilot system brew. I got 183 cans out of mine. I'd say that'd be about the average. I want to say anywhere from 180 to at most maybe 200 cans per 2 kegs that we get for a small batch. On if maybe it's first or second term, they're all 4 pilot systems, so double that to maybe 360, but anywhere from 180 to 360 cans of the small batch beers get produced. So it's a very limited run thing. With that said, guys, damn good stuff. Damn good stuff indeed. This beer, all the small batch beers, are $3.75 on the website and at the Teaching Winery. So it is a little bit more expensive, but they are, like I said, limited run batches. Great stuff overall. With that said, cheers on the final sip. Let's get right to my ratings and wrap this thing up. And you can get back to your Christmases. Overall, BREW's Honest Brown. A solid offering. I gotta say, it is a solid offering. It's definitely a lot lighter of a brown ale compared to many out there, but still some great flavors. The nuttiness is on point. Little bits of semi-sweet chocolate in the beginning, ending off on a more earthy hop note. A slight bit of toffee throughout, just very ever so slightly, I want to say. But a great flow of flavors. That's one thing I was going for. Mouthfeel and body of it. A little thin, but not too bad. Light, not overly heavy. A little bit of crispness going on through, but it's not a crispy boy, and it's not like just overly flat by any means. It's a solid bit of carbonation. Solid stuff all around. To be honest, I'm pretty proud of it, and I'm trying to leave a lot of the bias out of it, because even though it is my thing, it is my beer, I would give it the best mark in the world. But I gotta be truthful with you guys. There is a lot more room for improvement on this one, in my opinion. Definitely gonna work to get there, and I think it's a solid. 7.8, 7.9 out of 10 for me. Not exactly what I was aiming for, but I think that's one due to the hop varieties that I needed to change up. Wasn't going for my original, or I couldn't do my original recipe per se. I had to do a little bit of changes here, and I think that's what maybe got me a little bit more janky on it. But overall, still a solid beer. As for presentation, we're not even going to worry about the presentation. This is just all about the beer. But I do encourage you guys to go out, go pick some up, go order some online. Let me know down in the comment box below or on Untappd what you think about it, because I want to know your opinions. Be as harsh, be as honest as you want. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like I said, it's not a perfect beer, but it's still solid. 7.9 out of 10. I'm good with that mark. Pretty good stuff. Great time brewing it. Thank you for all the help at Niagara College, my classmates, my teachers, everybody there. Thank you guys for watching and supporting me throughout my journey. I really do appreciate it. Hope your Christmases go as smoothly as possible. Everybody stays safe. There is more beer coming. Going to be doing some more home brews in the new year, so stay tuned for those. And I also have to do another beer, not just like this, but another beer, commercial beer for my fourth term of college, for their project brew. So I'm going to do a whole new beer. If you have recommendations of maybe what you want me to brew, maybe we'll do something like that. Who knows? Maybe I'll take all your comments and we'll make a YouTube, a little crowdsourced YouTube beer. Who knows? The sky's the limit on this one, guys. But yeah, with all that said, guys, I'll let you get back to your Christmases. I know it's a day for family and fun. Hopefully, you can get a lot of fun out of today, even with the shitty state of the world. But go enjoy all the presents from Santa Claus, all that fun stuff. Enjoy your families, your friends, whatever. Do your Zoom calls. Just have a great day. Crack a beer and enjoy. And damn, Merry Christmas. Thanks for the journey. Cheers.